Poor Things. Poor Things is a movie that I will admit I've been avoiding watching for some time now. The only real reason is, yes, I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I had this idea in the back of my head that it felt more like an art house film than anything else, and I don't have a lot of great experiences with those types of movies. It ultimately stars Emma Stone as Bella Baxter, who is a very interesting character in a very interesting world. She's a full-grown woman who, at the very beginning of the movie, is acting like a baby. This is because, in all actuality, she is a baby. Emma Stone was initially playing a character who was pregnant, and this mad scientist played by Willem Dafoe, his name is God, or Godwin, took her baby's brain out and put it in her. That's what you essentially have. You have a baby in a grown adult's body, and she's growing exponentially, because if she didn't, the movie would take forever to finish. And throughout the film, she basically goes on an epic adventure, discovering who she is and ultimately what freedom means to her, what freedom means to other people, as well as learning the harsh realities of the world that she's been kept from her entire life, and how people can use you and manipulate you and abuse you. First and foremost, the film is good. I do believe that Emma Stone deserved that Best Actress award that she got here. I think that this is one of the best performances that I've seen her do in a long time. I have not seen everything that she's ever done, though. Past that, the film was also nominated for a number of other awards. Some I agree with and some I don't. Like the makeup department, I agree with that. Best Picture, I don't. The way that I describe Best Picture is you take the award ceremony and take every other award other than Best Picture, and it should technically win all of them, and by process of elimination, it just wins Best Picture. I agree with the Oscars when it didn't win Best Picture, but I do understand why it was on there. But I do not consider it a perfect film. I think there's two problems that I have with it. One is the story. There's nothing wrong with the story, but it didn't feel super original to me. It felt like everything else that I've ever seen in my entire life when it came down to going on an adventure to discover yourself and what that means for your future. Heck, Barbie had that, and a ton of others do as well, because at the end of the day, for the most part, it's just a coming-of-age adventure, but it is dressed up incredibly well in the technical department. Really good visuals, really good acting, great costume and set design, production design, but very, very weird, but very engaging cinematography where they use very strange, but also very alluring cinematography with the use of fisheye lens and how that would change sporadically throughout the film. The cinematography alone elicited certain feelings from the audience, like claustrophobia when it would close in really tight, and a little bit disorienting when it would be the entire screen, but the camera would move. And so for a second, everything looks really wacky. The entire thing is very much like a fever dream. It's just so obscure and so weird, yet it's also hard to look away from. So as far as, going on an adventure in order to find yourself, in order to find freedom and discover the harsh realities of the world, this is one of the better versions of it. But the second thing that I have a problem with this film is just the length. I mean, you're talking 2.5 hours. The pacing of the film was okay, but I definitely could have used a shorter film. I think that some scenes did drag on a little bit longer than they needed to. Overall, am I glad that I watched it? I guess. I probably could have gone without watching it at the same time. My life has not changed whatsoever. This isn't going to be something that I would want to buy and own either on a physical shelf or on digital. I would probably put somewhere in the vicinity of a B+. I almost put it in A because it feels wrong not to give this an A, just in general, even if it meant an A-. But I do have to go with my gut here because at the end of the day, it's ultimately the story, the narrative, that has me thinking it probably could have been a little bit better. But what about you guys though? Have you seen Poor Things? And if you have, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Do you consider it to be a perfect film? As for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe button, and the bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out.